Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope y'all been missing me as much as I've been missing you. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we're going to rejoice and be glad in it. If you're wondering if I just got up, you wondered well, because I did. It's about 7 o'clock on a Sunday morning, and I woke up with the joy of the Lord in my soul, in my spirit. And you know what? I've been away for about a week because I had some business to take care of, but now I'm back and I've been thinking about you the whole time that I was away. And I was saying, Lord, I just wonder if they are doing well. I was praying for my extended family, my cyberspace family, my social media family, whatever you want to call yourself. I just been praying for you all because this platform has the tentacles to reach so far, and I'm so thankful for that. But as I was away, I was thinking about a message that I had. It just kind of came into my spirit, a message that I had already shared with you all concerning Jesus feeding the 5,000 saved, the women and children. And in fact, let me just read a little bit of that to you, because I want to make sure, because see, this whole thing is really not about what I say. It's about what God says and what he says through his word. And so in John chapter 6, basically from 6:1 through 10, it talks about, Jesus setting the stage to perform a miracle for not only the people, but he was also doing something for the men of God, the disciples that he was shouldering, preparing them for when he leaves. This is how you do it. And so the story basically is Jesus feeding the 5,000. I'm just going to go to verse number 10, and you can read the rest of it, at your leisure. And at 10, it says, and Jesus said, make the men to sit down. Make the men to sit down. Now he's talking to his disciples, okay, which in modern day would be to his preachers, to his men of God, and instructing them on how to position the people for me to come and visit with them. So he says, make the men sit down. And then that verse goes on to say, now there was much grass in the place. So the men sat down in number about 5,000. Okay, so I don't want to prolong this. This is going to be a simple, hopefully a short word, and you can get a lot out of a simple word. So the Lord gave me this to say on this morning, this wonderful morning. And he says, tell the people to have a seat. Oh, I feel preachy already, and I ain't even said nothing. He says, tell them to have a seat, because what is happening is that the people were coming from a long journey. And on their journey, they was carrying a lot of baggage, and they was carrying a lot of weight. It was a lot of unnecessary baggage, and it was a lot of unnecessary weight. And the people were needy at the moment. But here's the issue with a need. A need often is disguised. See, because the enemy doesn't really want us to know what it is that we really need. So he'll just come and he will disguise it. And, you need money, you need clothes, you need insurance, you need good health. And those things you do need. You need the basic necessities of life. And some of us, we need even more than some of those basic necessities. One would argue, possibly. But that's not it. Because when you come to Jesus, Jesus beckoning you to come to him, he is already established in his heart, and he already knows what it is that you really need. That's when he was talking to the woman at the well. And he says, you know, if you drink of my water, he says, you'll never thirst anymore. And so this woman didn't even really know what Jesus was talking about. And see, this is the reason why revelation is so important. And even today, I may not exegete this word properly. I probably will do more justice in an eisegete. To exegete is to properly do it to where the scholars would say, okay, yeah, you did a really good job. You did that just the way it was supposed to be done. But to eisegete the word means that I am going to hear from God and I'm going to apply revelation to my application, to what I am hearing now to make it applicable to my life. Okay, so exegeting is good. It's good if you go in a seminary and to get through it, but sometimes you got to eisegete. You got to put revelation to it, because what is it's going to be good for my soul, for my existence, for my going forward. And so this is where this text led me down an eisegesis road, because I need to know what is it that Jesus wants me to have that I'm not. What am I missing? What am I missing? Why am I following him? Why am I going after him? Am I going after him just because I see the miracles that he's doing, that he's performing, because he's healing people and he's meeting the needs of people? What is it about me that is in need? Why would I continue down this journey? And you know, it is so many of us today that we're going down this journey and it almost seems like there is no fulfillment. You know, we have this hope of glory or whatever it is, this hope in Jesus that things are going to get better. But we are not really living and walking in the fulfillment of things getting better for our lives. So Jesus wanted the people, when he told Philip, his disciple, the man of God, see, because this is where we at, that God, he speaks to the man of God. And he says, I need you before I minister to get the people properly positioned. And he says, tell the people to be seated. Ooh, that will preach all day right there. Just be seated. Have a seat. Yeah. Oh boy. When Jesus tells you to be seated, get ready, because something is coming. It is coming. He wants the people to relax. The word to sit down in the Hebrew means to relax or to recline, to take a load off, take the weight off. OK, if Jesus is telling you to relax and to recline, he is saying to get worry free, because this is the way he's coming in. And so if you're coming to him and you're coming from a long journey, well, you know, I'm having these problems. I came off a divorce. Such and such just died. They passed away and I lost my job. You got all this weight, and you coming to Jesus with all this weight, and Jesus already knows who he is. And he's saying, listen, disciples, men of God, what I need you to do, because you can't do this other part. I'm going to do the big part. I'm going to carry the load. Cast your cares upon me, because I care. And see, my burden, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Don't even worry about all that. I don't need y'all to do all that. I got it. So he says, just get them to a place where they can relax. Did y'all see that in the text? That's the eisegesis of the text. That is not the exegesis of the text. He says, get them to a place where they can recline. Just fall back. Fall back from all your cares and all your worries and all that stuff. Just get to a place where you are contemplative on who it is that is talking to you, who it is that the man of God is telling you that said, relax, be cool, be easy. Be easy. I know what you're going through is hard. I know it's been a long time. I get all that. But in order for Jesus to come into your space right now, what you need to do, first of all, is you need to sit down. And sitting down does not literally mean just to sit down in a place, like on a chair. In the spirit, what Jesus was saying was to sit in me. To sit in me, to sit in structure, to sit and be organized in this particular space, because I'm going to walk through it. I'm going to walk through it. But I can't walk through it with you with the mindset that you have. I can't do that. So he wanted them to fall back from their weariness of their journeys and to be positioned to be fed. Now, here's the thing, because I told y'all that the disciples is the disciples that God uses, us fragile men of God, that God still got to do a lot of work on us. When Jesus was asking the question, because he says, do these people have anything to eat? I wonder, when was the last time that they felt okay? See, coming off of a journey, coming and bum rushing him and their circumstances. And so Jesus, already knowing the answer, a rhetorical question, he already knew it, but he asked his disciples. And see, this is something, preachers, that we got to grow into, being able to answer God properly for the people. And so here's two ways not to respond to Jesus. Two ways. The first one is that the first answer that he got back from one of his disciples was, God, you know what? He says, you asking, about them. Look, do you see all these people? Do you see this with your own naked eyes? Do you see what I see? Do you see what I see? He says, it's going to take a year. It might even take 2 years' wages in order for us to buy enough bread for them to take one bite. And as far as they come, with the baggage that they've come from and the weight that's on them, that ain't going to be enough to take care of their need, their basic need, their hunger, their thirst. That's not going to be enough for them. That was the first one, that the man of God, the disciple that had been sitting before Jesus, that came out of his mouth, he had the nerve to spew that out in front of Jesus, in front of God, because Jesus said, when you see me, you have seen the Father. The second answer is that one of the other disciples said, you know what? He says, there's a little boy. Listen to the language here and the context. He says, there's a little boy here. Little boy, right? Little meaning not much. Little boy. Okay. This is what I think about what God can use and what he will use. So you got to be careful when you look at people and you analyze them and you put them in a certain position or a certain place, because you can't see what God sees and you don't think about them the way God thinks about them, and you're not going to use them the way God is going to use them, because you are just a person. Okay. You're not God. So you can't do the miracles that God do, and you don't have the infinite wisdom that God has. And so, again, be seated, fall back. He says, there's a little boy here. One. And number two, he's got a few loaves, a few barley pieces of bread, maybe about 5. And he's got like 2 fish. Come on, Jesus. I mean, that's all we got. So we got, we don't have enough money, nor do we have enough time to go all the way into the city. By the time we get in there and come back, it's going to be messed up. And we don't have the resources. We just don't have nothing. We don't have nothing. So we got that we don't have, and we got this little boy that he has not enough, or whatever that is. And so he says, okay, yeah. He said, that's exactly where I want you to be. I knew y'all was going to answer it like that, because I knew that y'all really didn't know who I was. And so he says, listen, forget all that. He says, I tell you what you do. Just tell them to get in rows. Get in rows. Have them sit down. Have them sit down. And so when Jesus had them to sit down, the scripture goes on, to make a long story short, is that he fed everybody that was there. It was men, 5,000, women, we don't know how many, children, we don't know how many. We have surmised that it was some 20,000 people that was there that particular day. Jesus set them all down, and he says, I am going to take what you think is not enough. And I'm going to use what you feel is not enough and that you feel is not worthy. It don't stand up to your standards. It don't meet the specs that you require. It don't come from the family. You know, it don't have the right name behind it with the right numbers behind it. Don't have the right influence. It's not old enough. It's too old, whatever it might be. Okay, we're going to take all that. Let me handle all that. Give that to me and watch me work with it. So he takes that and he takes the bread and the fish and he holds it up to the Father and he blesses it. And he breaks it and he gives it to the people until the people were full. I mean, full. And here's the real powerful part of it, y'all, is that God provided so much on that day that the people had an overflow. Isn't it awesome and wonderful that God can give you so much that you have when you think you don't have enough? Or when you think that you won't have enough or that you can't make it, he can bless you in a moment to where you have overflow enough to give and bless somebody else. The Bible says that they took up 12 baskets of leftover overflow for others to be blessed. But here's the caveat. Here's the caveat. The caveat is that they had to be seated. They had to sit down. They had to contemplate. They had to get into a place of reflection to know who Jesus was. Who is Jesus that want to come up in my space? Who is this man? And I declare to you today is that the reason why a lot of us are not blessed is because we don't really know and we don't properly position Jesus in his rightful place. And until we understand the real person who we're talking to and the power that he holds for our lives, we will continue to have these unnecessary needs. And our needs will not be met. Why? Because we didn't look at Jesus properly. I hope this little word, and there's so much more to it that I can expound to, but I hope this little bit has been blessed has blessed you on this Sunday morning. I want you to be blessed and have a great day, a wonderful day. Continue to pray for me, and I will pray for you as well until we talk again. God bless you. I love you, and you can't do nothing about it.